Oh, there you are, YouTube.
But, what's his name?
Benson.
That's Benson from Toy Story 4. He's so top heavy, I can't believe he was even able to stand.
Oh, yeah.
You like your new bases
Benson.
for your Duplos?
Oh.
Oh, there's Poppy, or Branch, right? Is that your mini finger puppet?
Oh.
Nope. Is that your Jessie outfit? You look so cool in that. That looks amazing. Getting some good coloring in. All your new books and sketchbooks. Look at that. It's from Grandma and Grandpa. Remember? Are you guys Sheriff Jesse riding the horse that kind of looks more like a cow? Much later. Just finished watching Wonder Woman 1984. So, Wonder Woman 1984, just finished it. So, these thoughts are very fresh.
Oh, and there will be spoilers.
But ultimately, thought it was pretty good. I don't think it's as good as the first one. There are some bad CGI moments. Cheetah, what's her name? Is it Cheetah? I don't know. I am sad to say that I don't know a lot about DC villains, other than Batman's gallery. When it comes to the other people, don't know. I mean, Lex Luthor, but even though I watched Smallville, a lot of those villains went in one ear out the other. I don't know. I don't retain the DC villain knowledge except for Batman because they're so woven into the fabric of our culture. But Cheetah, let's say it's Cheetah. Sometimes her CGI wasn't looking that great. It wasn't so bad. It was just it lost the Kristen Wiig-ness of it. And I think I would have liked it to have been more obvious that we were looking at Kristen Wiig, maybe. Because it wasn't like so bad. It was just we lost who was under that digital makeup, basically. But when it came to Kristen Wiig beforehand, like early on, they did that whole like nerdy villain sort of thing, which we've seen so many times. Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Jamie Foxx. That was, which that wasn't even the first time there. We have Jim Carrey doing that as Riddler in Batman Forever, that was happening there. It's just something we see quite a bit, so I don't think it's something we need to see a lot. I mean, it served a little bit more of a purpose in this story, actually quite a bit, so I feel like it could be forgiven much more so than maybe those other examples I cited. I think, and I'm just going to be jumping around here, but also with Jim Carrey as Riddler, sort of what he was doing, brain drain, is sort of what Pedro Pascal, what's his villain's name? Wishmaker? Wishmaster? Who knows? Does he have a name? Was he invented for this movie? Is he in the comics? Let me know, because I don't know. But what Riddler was doing in Batman Forever is basically what he's doing, in a way. I mean, just broadcasting certain things, and yeah, because he was like granting wishes and getting something in return, where that's sort of what Jim Carrey was doing. Riddler getting their knowledge and becoming super smart, just to knowing everything. Having all the knowledge, all the answers, every single bit of trivia that could be asked of him, he would know the answer. So, I don't know. I guess I was just like, with a lot of these things, I was thinking, oh, I've seen that before. But I wasn't like overly annoyed. It was just like I was noticing it, It was just kind of like, that again. I don't know. Maybe it was a little annoying. But after a while, if you've seen a lot of movies, you pick up on those things, I guess. So I don't know. I just kind of let it slide down my back. I don't know. I just, you accept it because these are tropes. They're tropes for a reason because they work. And the older you get, the more you're going to notice them. When you're a kid, you see them for the first time and you're like, wow, that's brilliant, but it's been around forever. So I think that's kind of what this case was. It's just a classic villain story. What I did like about these villains, maybe over the ones in the first Wonder Woman, is that they were redeemable. That was nice. They were just flawed humans that made a mistake and could be brought back. Like Pedro Pascal's character. Sorry, these are spoilers. I should have mentioned that. I'm probably gonna I'm gonna put that at the beginning. I'm just gonna say spoilers, by the way. Okay, so yeah, redeemed at the end. I thought that was nice because I think with a lot of these movies, even Cheetah, it looks like she was probably redeemed as well. Where I feel like in the first one he had that like just evil god, and in those sort of cases they are so evil they are the epitome of it. It fully embodies them to where it's like killing them, I guess, is the only option. Where here it's a lesson learned. People can be good. Sometimes it just takes a little steering, some mistakes being made, learning, lessons learned, stuff like that. So I did think that was an improvement on the villains in terms of the first Wonder Woman and this one. End credit scene, that was fun. Or mid-credit scene, that was very fun. I loved that. I used to watch the Wonder Woman show all the time at my grandparents'. It was reruns, obviously, for me. I'm too young to have caught that when it was actually on. But yeah, I was watching the reruns, and so I don't know. That was a really awesome moment. Got goosebumps on my leg when that happened because I really didn't know what was going on. I was like, oh, is that going to be Cheetah? Like somehow she still maintained her powers and then dyed her hair and is in hiding, and then boom, Linda Carter. What? Also, did Pedro Pascal sound a little bit like Tony Shalhoub? I kept thinking, I'm hearing Tony Shalhoub's voice. Is that just me? Because I was hearing Tony Shalhoub. I was wondering, how are they going to bring back Steve Trevor? How are they going to make this happen? And the plot literally focuses on it, is surrounded by it. And I thought, okay, this is how it's going to happen. And it happened, and I was like, this works. I'm cool with this. I think this works here. That's kind of clever. That's good. It works. There's not many ways you can do it, but I think this one worked. The 80s-ness of it all, though, felt very costumed. It felt like 80s costumes, not 80s, just the 80s, Like when you go back and watch a movie from the 80s, it felt overdone, I think, and a little artificial. So, I don't know. I think that would have been, maybe they wanted to cartoonify it a little bit because, these are comic book movies. But I think what I like about the first film is it has a realness to it, a tangibleness to it for the most part. I would say it leans that direction, where this one, I don't think it did as much. So I would have, I don't know, found a way to make the 80s feel a little bit more tangible and real instead of costumes, because that's sort of the vibe I was getting from it. When it comes to all the DC movies, I don't know where I would rank this one. I don't even know what my favorite one is. It might be Wonder Woman. I don't know. I kind of have to watch them all. But one thing, I do think the Marvel films are better. They're glossier. They're slicker. They have the money. But I think I get more excited for the DC movies because they feel more raw to me. They feel more just like they don't have it together, but in an exciting way. They're trying to figure things out, so you aren't going in just expecting a slick movie that you watch, enjoy, it's over, and then you're like, what was that? I don't know. I just feel like the grittiness, the raw nature of the DC films are more exciting to me, even though they aren't technically better. Although, when it comes to the first Wonder Woman, I would have nominated that for Best Picture. When it comes to Marvel movies, like Disney Marvel, I don't think I'd nominate any of those. When it comes to, you know, Fox Marvel, I would have nominated Logan, definitely. So, I don't know. I think, honestly, even though I think Disney Marvel makes great, slick films, I don't think any of them feel like they have, I don't know what you call it, that indescribable quality that puts them into a, for me, Best Picture nominated film category, where Logan does for me. The first Wonder Woman movie does that for me. Basically, I'm just saying, I don't know. Disney Marvel is slick, but I don't get excited for those movies the same way I do with the DC ones, because I'm like, ooh, what am I going to get with the DC? You know, because I don't know. They're not as reliable. So, I don't know. I just find that exciting. Also, Wonder Woman's theme, I feel like, is iconic. I think that is great. It's like we haven't had a theme for a superhero that iconic since Danny Elfman's Batman, I think. I mean, for me anyway, that's how I feel. I don't know if the culture feels the same way, but that's kind of how I feel. It was like John Williams' Superman, Danny Elfman's, Batman, and then person who, I can't think of their name because it's not Hans Zimmer, whoever wrote the Wonder Woman part. I think he's a DJ. I don't know his name, unfortunately, but that just is so iconic. And when it comes to, wow, that's the trio right there. Wow. And they're not from like the same like generation. We have 70s Superman, 80s, 90s Batman, and then now we have Wonder Woman. That is amazing. That's the big trio, and I think those three have the most iconic sounding themes, scores. Wow, that's interesting. I never pieced that together, but that's how I feel. Anyway, those are just some random thoughts. I don't get to watch movies over and over and over again as much as I used to, so it'd be very hard for me to rank these. All the DCU films, DCEU, what is it? I don't know. If you know, let me know. But I'm just, I liked it, but not as much as the first one. I think the first one is better, but when it comes to all the DC movies, I don't know where I would place it. I'm not sure. But those are my thoughts, and perhaps I'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.